The situation surrounding Carla Connor has now reached a true breaking point, and it is, without exaggeration, one of the most nerve-shredding storylines Coronation Street has delivered in years. Just when it seemed Carla might finally outmaneuver Becky Swain, the writers pulled the ground out from beneath her once again. What followed that agonizing cliffhanger was not merely another twist, but the unveiling of a full-blown nightmare. Carla is trapped not only by a locked door, but by her own failing body. Before we plunge deeper into this chaos, and the enormous crossover event looming on the horizon, let's pause for a moment. If you enjoy in-depth breakdowns of the biggest drama on the cobbles, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Coronation St UK. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest twists, shocks and heartbreak from Weatherfield. Now, let's talk about what has been happening inside that flat, because it is pure psychological horror. For days, Carla's friends and family have been completely unaware of her ordeal, believing she has impulsively whisked herself away on a spontaneous trip to Spain. That, of course, is the brilliance and cruelty of Becky's plan. She understands Carla's character perfectly. A sudden getaway doesn't raise alarms, it fits the narrative everyone expects. But while the outside world imagines Carla sipping sangria in the sunshine, the truth is infinitely darker. She has been locked inside a cupboard, isolated, frightened, and physically deteriorating. The most harrowing part is how close she came to freedom. On Monday night, we saw a flash of the old, defiant Carla Connor, the fighter we've rooted for time and again. She seized her moment, striking Becky and sending her crashing to the floor. When Becky's head struck the table, it felt like destiny had finally tilted in Carla's favor. Tuesday night kept us holding our breath. Becky was down. The door was right there. Escape felt inevitable. But this is Coronation Street, and nothing is ever that simple. Just as Carla reached the brink of freedom, Becky staggered back to her feet. What followed was a chilling reassertion of control. Becky didn't just overpower Carla physically, she crushed her psychologically. Injured and complaining bitterly of pain, Becky remained lethally dangerous. The most disturbing revelation came with the medication. Becky claimed she had come bearing Carla's vital kidney drugs, only to deliberately withhold them. In that moment, the storyline crossed a terrifying threshold. This was no longer a kidnapping, it became something closer to a slow, calculated execution. When Carla pleaded with her, insisting Becky was not a killer, the response was ice cold. Becky didn't deny it. She didn't have to. She made it clear she didn't need to lay a finger on Carla. She simply had to wait for Carla's body to shut down. Watching Becky slip into a warped domestic fantasy with Lisa and Betsy, while Carla rots away just meters from him, is deeply unsettling. Even more disturbing is Becky hijacking Carla's social media, posting fake updates about a blissful Christmas getaway to keep the illusion alive. It's manipulation at its most grotesque, and the cruelty doesn't stop there. Becky mocks Carla, daring her to leave when she knows she is too weak to stand. It is pure, unfiltered malice, yet cracks are finally beginning to appear. After leaving Carla to suffer, Becky returned to Lisa and Betsy, only to collapse. That head injury from the struggle was real, forcing an ambulance call and opening the first genuine window of hope. At the hospital, Lisa begins to ask questions. Doubt creeps in. For a moment, it feels like the truth might finally surface, but Becky, ever the master manipulator, spins another web of lies. She claims she was attacked by associates of Curtis and insists they must flee to Spain immediately, their lives supposedly in danger. It's a desperate lie, but effective enough to keep the pressure on. Although Carla fails to escape this time, preview images confirm that she will eventually team up with Kit to bring Becky down. But before justice can come, both soaps are hurtling toward a catastrophic event that promises to shake Weatherfield and the Dales to their core. This crossover is not just ambitious, it's seismic. Danger spills from the cobbles onto the country roads linking Weatherfield and Emmerdale, culminating in a multi-vehicle crash involving major characters from both worlds. This isn't spectacle for spectacle's sake. Every storyline converges on that lonely stretch of road: Todd Grimshaw's harrowing domestic abuse ordeal, the escalating psychological war between Carla and Becky, and Charity Dingle's explosive surrogacy deception. Fate drags them all to the same place, and the result is carnage. One of the most intriguing revelations from filming comes from Jack P. Shepard, who plays David Platt. David has survived decades of trauma, but what unfolds here is something entirely new. Amid twisted metal, smoke and sirens, viewers will witness David transform into an unlikely action hero, sprinting directly toward danger. It feels ripped from a Hollywood blockbuster rather than a traditional soap. Remarkably, that moment wasn't scripted. Jack revealed it was a split-second instinctive decision. When a roaring explosion erupted during filming, instead of flinching, he charged straight toward it. He later joked that he decided to go full Tom Cruise. But beneath the humor lies a profound understanding of David's character. David doesn't freeze in a crisis, he acts. That spontaneous moment survived the edit, a rarity for a show built on meticulous planning. Behind the scenes, the contrast is striking. While the screen shows chaos and terror, Jack described cast members joking between takes, fueled by Haribo and chocolate during freezing night shoots. It's a testament to the professionalism behind these massive set pieces: controlled explosions, stunt choreography, emergency responses, all delivered with precision. Yet David carries enormous emotional weight into this crash. He and Shona are reeling from devastating news: their unborn baby has a cancerous tumor. Doctors have warned that life-saving surgery for the baby could put Shona's life at serious risk. David is paralyzed by guilt and fear, consumed by the possibility that love alone might not be enough. This is not panic, it's helpless terror. Shona, however, is resolute. She refuses to dwell on the risks and is determined to carry the baby to term, no matter the cost. The tension between them simmers quietly, and the trauma of the crash threatens to push everything to breaking point. Will surviving the accident bring clarity, or deepen the fractures? Jack has remained tight-lipped but hinted that the events of that night will leave lasting scars. The production team has gone all out, describing the finished episode as cinematic in scale. It was even previewed in a cinema, unheard of for standard episodes. Despite its 45-minute runtime, the episode plunges straight into the crashes, with no slow build-up. The rest unfolds amid the chaotic aftermath. This crossover feels like a bold statement of intent. In a genre often criticized for predictability, Coronation Street and Emmerdale are aiming for something genuinely epic. This isn't a token crossover cameo, it's a life-or-death collision forcing characters from separate worlds to survive side by side. That unscripted moment from Jack P. Shepard perfectly captures why soap fans stay loyal. Like infamous live TV slip-ups or legendary disasters etched into soap folklore, these flashes of authenticity remind us there are real people behind the characters. David sprinting toward danger wasn't a mistake, it was truth in motion. For Carla, the stakes have never been higher. She's survived alcoholism, sexual assault, business collapse, but this is different. She is physically incapacitated, unable to fight her way out. Her survival now depends on others, and on chaos itself. The crash may be her only path to freedom. As for Becky, a character this unhinged cannot remain on the street forever. She doesn't see herself as a villain, she believes she is protecting her family. That delusion makes her terrifying. Denying Carla medication wasn't rage, it was calculation. In Becky's mind, removing Carla is necessary to preserve her fantasy. The tonal clash between Coronation Street and Emmerdale adds another layer. Weatherfield's warmth collides with the Dale's gritty isolation on a dark, unforgiving road. Twisted metal, smoke and panic promise a visceral experience that goes beyond plot. It's sensory, relentless, and raw. For David, that sprint into danger is a callback to his chaotic youth, energy once used for destruction, now redirected into heroism. Yet while explosions rage outside, his mind remains fixed on his unborn child's diagnosis. Its action layered with heartbreak. Ultimately, the coming episodes promise a perfect storm. Carla's kidnapping reaches its endgame. Two soap giants collide, and emotional fallout will ripple for months. Every storyline matters. Secrets will surface. Alliances will form. Lives will change. Carla deserves justice, and power reclaimed. After the cruelty she's endured, we can only hope she's the one who finally brings Becky down. Until then, buckle in. If Jack P. Shepard is right, we're witnessing television history. It's going to be loud. It's going to be messy. And it's going to be absolutely gripping.